Smart buyers are tripping up all the time. And I'm not talking about your average beginner. It's the ones who think that they're super ready and then they trip up. Here's what they keep getting wrong and how to fix it. And just to ground this out a little bit, the stuff that I'm sharing today is stuff that I see very often with the buyers I work with in Windsor and Essex County. So if you're in that area, make sure you pay extra close attention because this is directly relating to your market. Okay, let's talk about some stuff that buyers are doing that they think are harmless, but is actually costing you big. They start touring homes without prepping their own. This is such a big deal. If you are going out to look at houses right now and you have a house that you also need to sell, what does it look like? Is it messy? Do you have 5 projects in each room? Do you need to do a massive declutter? Like, what are your plans? There's a lot that goes into getting a house ready. And I'm not saying you need to be 100% there, but like a nice, happy 70% so that you can do a few weekend projects over the course of like 2 days so that you're basically ready to go. It's literally your golden goose to move on. So take care of your existing investment before you plan on going to spend that money. If you don't do it properly, you're not going to have as much money as you think you are because your house isn't going to sell for as much as it should because you didn't take the time to get it ready properly. They delay the lender conversation until it's too late. Yep. We're going there. We don't have to talk about it, but we're gonna talk about it. I know nobody wants to do this, okay? I get it. It's annoying, it's uncomfortable, you gotta go and find receipts. You just wanna look at the pretty houses. I get it, but it needs to be done. And you know what's even more icky? Putting in an offer to be declined on financing because you didn't do your homework. Go get it takes literally like 24 hours. It's about protecting you from wasting your time and heartache. I don't want that for you. I'm sure you guys don't want that either. It's fun looking around, but you know what's even more fun? Getting to live there for real. And I know that this doesn't like 100% relate to the super smart people who are going out there and going shopping. They get the pre-approval, so be like them. And if you need someone to talk to, let me know. If you're in Windsor and Essex County, I can 100% recommend some amazing people. All right, number 3, they rely too much on listing photos. You know, it really comes down to a trained eye. As I'm sure you would probably expect, you can't get anything by me. The average person does not see anything past what the actual photographer wants them to see. They are marketing these houses so to get you in the door. That's what these photos are for. There's the houses that have the listing pictures dialed in so perfectly. Those are the ones you gotta look out for. But what I'm talking about are the houses that you swipe by because the photos just don't grab you. Not every single house needs to be a beautiful staged house. Sometimes they're just okay. Those houses that are not standing out to every single buyer, do you think that they have 20 offers on them? Maybe they don't have any and they're wondering why their house isn't selling and you might be able to get under asking price. God forbid, we might actually be able to get a deal. No way. That's your shoe-in. That's where you get a deal. And dare I say, even maybe possibly potentially below asking price. Not by a lot. Don't get excited. Maybe just a little bit, but ain't that still swell? Is it worth a look at? Yes, it is, because it might be worth, and you know what? I hate to say it, but sometimes even 30 grand lower than the houses that are staged and beautiful. Yes, it's worth going to look at. We're watching interest rates. We'll just buy when they go down. Buyers think that they're being strategic when they're waiting for that 0.25 drop. Like, let's do some math, okay? Because that drop doesn't actually change that much. Just humor me. On a $500,000 home with a 25-year mortgage at a 5.25 rate, your monthly payment, $2,996. At a 5% rate, your monthly payment is $2,923. $876 a year is what you're saving with a 0.25 drop. Now, keeping in mind that 0.25 drop only happens a certain amount of time, potentially a year. It could go up, it could do nothing, or it could go down. So every time that you're waiting for that drop, you are essentially gambling with the market that it's going to go down. The reason I say gamble is because it doesn't necessarily mean cheaper houses. Do you think you're the only person that's doing that? That house that would have cost you the $500,000 now has an extra 5 bids. Do some guesswork. What do you think that number looks like now? Because it's not $500,000 with 5 extra bids. There's gonna be that one extra buyer who's like, you know what? I need this house. I love this house. I'm putting in extra. And just like that, now it costs $25,000 extra dollars for that same house. We don't want to bother anyone. We'll reach out when we're ready. That's fine. I can appreciate that. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I can appreciate that. You're trying not to be a bother. It's my job to make sure that you're making informed, educated decisions. And I literally build my entire business around please bother me. I am always here to talk. Always. And I would very much prefer that you bother me. So buyers feel like they're being respectful. But the problem is, if you wait too long to connect with an agent, it's going to backfire. If you find a house that you love and you haven't reached out to anyone, you're already behind. What happens when they're looking at offers in 3 hours and you don't even have an agent? Guess who you're calling? The listing agent. Is that to your benefit? No, it's not. And if you said yes, how dare you? I mean, you can, but it is not to your benefit. That listing agent is legally obligated to get as much money for the seller as possible because they have a written agreement. Please just reach out to a buyer's agent. Never call the listing agent. It doesn't have to be me. I don't care. Just make sure that you're properly represented and that you're not paying oodles of money more than you should. At the end of the day, a good agent does not see an early conversation as a waste of time. They see it as smart planning. And so do I. We're watching listings daily, and when the right one pops up, we'll just jump. Watching Realtor.ca isn't the same as being ready, but there's nothing wrong with watching it. The problem that I have with this is that by the time you actually see a house on Realtor.ca, somebody might also be possibly booking a second showing or drafting an offer. So by the time you actually see it, a lot of times on Realtor.ca, it's potentially already gone. If you have an actual feed directly from your agent from the MLS system, then you are getting it the second it's available instead of when Realtor.ca decides to update. Again, please refer to my previous recommendations here. Is your house 70% ready? Because you might be ready to look at it, but you might not necessarily be ready to buy it. If I could sit down with every single buyer before they started, this is what I would say. You truly don't have to do it alone. The truth is that a lot of buyers wait way too long before they get a real estate agent involved. They try and figure out the timeline, their pricing, getting pre-approved, all of it before they actually reach out to us. But realistically, we're supposed to help you with that process. We're supposed to make it a little bit easier for you by helping you navigate it based on our local experience and expertise in our market. So don't be shy. I hear from people that aren't ready to move for like a year, maybe sometimes 2. They just want to get on the same page with the market and make sure that they're in a prime spot to make that educated decision. Reach out so I can help you find that timeline or help you reach out to the mortgage specialist so they can make sure that your money is where it needs to be when it's prime time to make that purchase. The earlier I'm in the loop, the easier of a process the whole thing is going to be. Your budget isn't just your pre-approval number, it's actually your comfort zone. Just because your lender says that you're approved for $500,000 doesn't mean that you have to spend $500,000. It means that you spend what feels reasonable to you. Think beyond the pre-approval letter and actually think about what that mortgage payment looks like for you each month and if you would be sweating. What number are you comfortable with spending every month? How do you feel about utility amounts, renovation costs? Do you guys travel a lot? Is that something that you want to make sure that you're not giving up? Whatever applies to you, make sure that it all fits in your budget, nice and cozy. Some buyers get so caught up in wanting to have the absolute best house for their budget that they just kind of lose sight with what that mortgage payment is actually going to feel like. Imagine buying your dream home and not being able to add curtains or blinds because you are at your absolute max. You can't enjoy it properly. I don't want that for you. If you're not totally sure what that number looks like yet, I have a free budget toolkit that is available in the description below. Make sure that you go and get your free copy. It'll walk you through to find your comfort zone, not just what the bank pre-approves you for. A good plan is more powerful than perfect timing. I really truly wish that buyers knew that they didn't have to wait for the perfect timing. They just needed a really good plan, or at least a super solid plan, just to kind of figure out where they should go depending on the situation, because you can't time the market. It's nearly impossible. There's always going to be something, right? Interest rates, tariffs, the neighbor down the street saying the sky is falling. But if you always wait for the perfect condition, you'll never end up buying something. So buyers who come in with a really strong plan, so for example, a timeline, a budget, maybe a neighborhood or school district, and a pre-approval, are going to have a much easier time finding something that fits those goals and is going to align with their needs in that time of their life. They're going to be able to work at a much more comfortable speed when that perfect house shows up for them. And they're gonna be much more confident doing it. If you're buying your next home, there's always a chance that you also have one to sell as well. And if you are a first-time seller, I've got some amazing tips in my next video for you. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss it. So I'll see you over there next week.